Hello and welcome to the It's Raining Grass podcast, episode 54, I think. Today is Friday, March 22nd, 2019. I am Raina, your host. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry under SF Chick. So, today I have for you some works in progress, some acquisitions, most acquisitions, a gadget, and a finished sweater that I didn't finish. But I took a trip last weekend, so I will talk more about that at the end. So, why don't we get started? So, the first work in progress I worked on this today, is a 3-color cashmere cowl by Joji Locatelli. This is out of Storyteller Yarn. Is right here. They're out of Tahoe. I got this in my knit crate. Bala Hoya in the blueberry lemonade colorway. I forget what colorway this is by Storyteller Yarns. And then Neighborhood Fiber Company, their Parkland colorway. They used part of this as a fundraiser for the victims of the Parkland shooting that happened last year in February. I think it was February. I think it was on Valentine's Day last year. I'm usually real good about remembering stuff like that, but today it escaped my memory. So this is for a friend, a very good friend of mine. She helped me with the dogs in January, so I told her that I would make her a cowl. She liked my cowl so much that I offered to make her one. So, again, this is Storyteller Yarn, Bala Hoya, Neighborhood Fiber Company. I'm in section 3 of section 5. When I was printing out my notes today, when I was looking at my notes, I realized that I copied and pasted twice. So I'm doing section 3, and then sometimes I skip ahead to the next section to see what I need. It told me to do ribbing. You don't do ribbing until the end, in the beginning. So, oops, I goofed. But this is in a Bird Legs Bags project bag that I got off of Etsy. It has lots of yarn balls on it, and then it has polka dot on the inside. I think I like the inside more because it's polka dots. How could you not go wrong with polka dots? So I'm thinking that the next time that I podcast, this will be done. And my next project is in my Toad Hollow bag, cat selfie bag. My son loves this bag. He loves cats in general, any cats. But he said, "Mommy, can I have that bag?" And I'm like, "No, you can't have the bag." I'm like, "It's Mommy's bag. I'm using it right now." He's like, "Oh, okay." So when I was away last weekend, I took 2 projects with me. I only worked on one, what do they call it? Monogamously. So this is a sweater called Summer by Anka Strict. This is the back. This is the front. And I was worried about the yellow on the bottom, because I'm like, because I usually wear Empire waists, Empire waists I call them. I've heard them call Empire waists, but I tried it on when I got a little bit further down, and it hits just right. The yellow hits like right underneath my breasts. So I'm gonna keep going with it. I was worried that the yellow would be too flashy with the first skein that I used. I'm in my second skein. I have 5 skeins of this. I think that I'm only going to use 4, but we shall see, because the pattern calls for short sleeves, but I think that I'm going to do long sleeves. I got to figure out how to do that though. But maybe I'll just leave them short sleeves because it'll be easier. But the next event in our lives is Kellen's baptism. So I'm hoping to have this done by then. He will be baptized the night before Easter, and that is April 20th. So those are the only 2 works in progress that I have right now in my wheelhouse. The only 2 that I've been working on consecutively. I worked on Chris's cowl today. I didn't want to take I did not want to take a multiple skein project with me because I knew that I would be going to the festival, and I didn't want to carry a big bag, and I didn't want to have lots of yarn, and because I was going to buy yarn, where was I going to put the yarn that I bought? So why don't we get into my trip? So last Wednesday I took a trip to Pittsburgh. I've been planning this trip for about a month now. My best friend and I, we decided she was going to sign up for a sneaking class that was there. So I said, why don't I come in for it? And we're like, oh, okay. So I signed up and I registered for the class. She registered for the class. She's a yoga instructor also, so she got to teach her yoga exercises because she works at the computer all day. She does, a lot of the yoga exercises can be what's the word? Transferred into knitting. So on Wednesday I got there, and I wasn't going to see her yet because the plan was originally for me to come Thursday, but Mom had a meeting in Lancaster, which is east of York, and I had to go north of York. So we settled for me to go on Wednesday. And I got in, I met our family friend that I was staying with that night. Her name is Joni. She's Kellen's godmother, soon to be godmother. We had a really nice time. It's been a long time. It's been a while since I've seen Joni. And we just sat and we talked, and I knitted on my sweater while I talked to her. And then on the way, it was funny, on the way to Pittsburgh, the mega bus went through State College. I never went through State College. I don't remember the last time I was in State College. Had to be when I was like real young. So so once to State College, and once we got back, I said, once we hit William Penn Highway, I knew we were in Pittsburgh. I knew we weren't far from Pittsburgh because I texted my husband and I said, I think this bus went through State College. And he was on the bus, mega bus one time, and it did the same thing. Anyway, I get my bag breaks. The zipper on my bag breaks, and I think that we're taking public transit, so I took a zippered bag instead of my regular open bag because I had my rolling suitcase and then I had the bag with my knitting project in it, and then like things that I needed for that night that I didn't want to dig. So we ended up that night. We spent the night at Joni's, and then on Thursday, it was my friend Melissa's birthday. Melissa is 40 years old. She's been through a lot in the past year, and I spent part of her birthday with her, which was nice because Melissa's always babysitting. She always has one of her nieces with her. So getting to see Melissa was nice. She came to Joni's. She picked me up. We went to Target so I could get a new bag. I didn't bring that bag down, but it's a big like duffel bag, and it's peach, and it has these huge flowers on it, and it has a nice strap, and I was like, I'm only going to pay $14 for this because I have a gift card. So I was sold. And we went to, and Joni didn't have a coffee maker, so I had to stop at Starbucks and get my coffee. So then Melissa and I, we go out to dinner, and we have, then we're hanging out until Natalie and Matt get home because Natalie and Matt work in the same. Matt is Natalie's husband, and they both work on the south side of Pittsburgh, so they carpool. So we were close by, so we could just shoot over there, and we ended up missing the turn, having to go over the McKees Rocks Bridge to turn around and come back. It was okay, but then, you know, Melissa dropped me off. I asked her if she wanted to come and hang out with us, and she just wanted to go home. You know, I guess I don't know how that works without a kid now, because my son is 8 years old. So anyway, we go to Natalie's friend's house. We play a game called Dominion. I have no idea what's going on. There's wine though, so we were drinking wine, and I spilled Natalie's wine on the cards. And by that time the pizza came. So we're all in the living room and we're eating pizza and we're drinking and we're talking, and it was a real good time. So on Friday, Natalie had off because our class was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we were caught in traffic. We were caught in traffic. We finally got there about like half hour before the class, so we hurry up and get our tags, and I went in to hit the Leading Man Fiber Arts booth because they had a sweater quantity that I wanted. So this is my sweater quantity. It is the ground pepper kit. by Surveys Samola, and it's really pretty, and it's gray. It's like a bluish gray with gray speckles. I don't want to take the pattern out of the bag and show the yarn, because this is, they told me that it's in order of um the way the sweater goes. So I bought that, and we ran to our class, got lost. Of course, it was in this huge center. And then we took our class. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I staked. I had no idea what I was doing, but I staked. And it was simple, and I will do it again. I think I fell behind in the class like I normally do. And Heather Zapetti was wonderful. And I'm trying to copy Natalie and I sitting next to each other. Thing is, I'm left-handed. She's right-handed. So it was kind of hard to follow along with Natalie while she's knitting, opposite hands. I should have been sitting across the table from her. And anyway, then we go back. We got done early. So we left the class and went back to the Leading In Fiber Arts booth. And sorry, my nose is itchy. I found this skein of Lightning Bug. This is on their Spotlight base. I thought it would go perfect with this skein. I got this skein last year from Yankee Diary Yarns at Maryland Sheep and Wool. Now, when I saw this, I thought of my friend Jen. Jen has really boy blonde hair, and she looks really good in pastels. So I picked this out for Jen. But we were doing our plans in the car. I was talking and Natalie was driving, and then I found this to go with it. So this is one skein that I bought, and then I remembered I had Neighborhood Fiber Company in a DuPont Circle colorway to go with this, because I like to do light, dark, and pop when I do like a cowl. So here's my light, here's my dark, here's my pop. Do you see it? It's wonderful. So, and then I found another pattern. It's called the Green Line pattern. It's a long cowl. It's very lacy. It has one main color, bam, and two contrasting colors, bam, and you have a mini. So I'm going to do that for my friend Jen, but I am not done with Chris's cowl yet, so I cannot do that yet. And then I went to the Yoth Yarns booth, and they had this colorway. They call it their I Beg Your Pardon colorway in their Highland sock, which is like a tweedy yarn. It's so tweedy, and I think that this will make a wonderful hat. So I think that when I'm done and I'm bored with something, I'm going to do that. So this was purchase number 4, I think. And I bought a pair of earrings. Did I bring them down here? I don't think I did. But on the way home on Sunday, oh, we had a wonderful time at the festival. We decided not to go back on Saturday, because we hit we already planned out where we were going to go. We hit all the booths we wanted to hit. We saw the people we wanted to see. But I had this inkling. I saw this fabric, and I'm looking at it right now. And it's R2-D2 in BB-8. This is by Alina of Star Knits. I messaged her. I'm friends with her on Facebook, so I messaged her and I said, "Do you have any more R2 BB-8 fabric bags?" And she said that she had this. And the little decision making and all that, and I was like, I have to have this because it's R2 and BB-8. What's better than BB-8? There's nothing better than BB-8. So I paid for it and she mailed it to me and I got it yesterday. So I was thinking, tonight my mother saw it and she's like, "Oh, you bought another bag." I'm like, "I did." And she's like, "What are you going to put in it?" And I said, "It's perfect for a gobstopper ball." So I got a gobstopper ball of yarn. This is Nomadic Yarns in a Hermione colorway. You could call this another whip. This is a sock. I know, sock's a sock, but look at those colors. The blue is not as blue as the turquoise is. But you have brown, you have gray, you have blue, you have pink. And then I did a German short row heel. Sorry, I got distracted. And now I'm doing 60 rows down the foot until I hit the toe decreases, but that is not an active work in progress right now. So that's all my stash that I got at the festival. And then Natalie, I noticed that Natalie had this thing right here. It's called a boogie board. And what it is, it's an LCD screen and you can write on it. So right now I have one upstairs. Just got a second one today. And it was about $14 on Amazon. And I have Prime, so free shipping. And I love it. It's so fun, and I get to write on it and like keep track of my rows, and it's wonderful. So you do la di da la di da la la la, and then you press this button, and bam, it's gone. So that's why I like it, because I can keep track of my rows. So, and then on Saturday we just hung at the house and we knit some more. And then Natalie was going through her closet and she found this sweater. It's a cardigan that she made. It's bulky yarn. So I'm going to stand up. Boob shot. Sorry for the boobs. But you can tell at fits like my red cardigan, and it's very warm, but it's also itchy. So I have to wear long sleeves under. But oh, and then I've got two more acquisitions that I forgot to show you. I ordered these of Nomadic Yarns. So this one is pink and red, chartreuse, orange, and blue. Not blue like the Hermione blue, but this is like brighter turquoise blue. It's called Gumdrop Buttons. It's on her twisty sock. It's 400 yards, 80/20. But I think that's gorgeous. And I always pre-order from Nomadic Yarns. And then I saw this also on Nomadic Yarns. This is Wonderland in the same base, twisty sock base. Has all these purples and golds and silvers. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And then the other contraption that Natalie had was the wrist roller. I've seen these on different podcasts. I was like, oh, why don't I order one? So I just got this today in the mail. It's kind of tight on my wrist but it goes to 17 inches, and you wrap it around twice, and it helps you measure your knitting. Another tip that I learned to measuring your knitting is you take a piece of embroidery floss and you cut to whatever your quota is. Say you're knitting to 13 inches, so you would cut a 13-inch string and tie it to your knitting, so when you're out in public, you can't lose your roller. You can use that as your roller if you forget. So that's about it. That's all my stash and acquisitions and stuff from Pittsburgh Knit and Crochet. Tomorrow my mother is signing up my son for ice skating lessons. And today when I talked to him, he's like, that doesn't start till April. I said, April's in 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, he's only 8. So, my mom's, because Cal wants to play hockey, and he has to know to ice skate to play hockey. So, and then we're going to surprise him with something else. So, I can't say the surprise right now because I know my husband will probably watch this later and text me if I say what the surprise is going to be. But anyway, I hope that you have a good 2 weeks. And next time I will probably have a finished object for you. And we will see what is later. Okay? Happy knitting. Bye-bye.